This is not daily proverbs, but this is a word of wisdom. When it comes to what you do, when it comes to how you do it, when it comes to how you're called to do it, when it comes to your walk of obedience, God is number one. Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. When following God as the target, when walking in obedience becomes your first priority, everything else will be added unto you. Some things are not in your life because you're chasing those things rather than chasing God and what he has called you to do. People say, how do I have discernment of who my spouse is? Get so involved in your purpose. Get so involved with what God called you to do. Be obedient. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be added unto you. When you're in the depths of what God has called you to do, somebody will either be there keeping up or they won't. Some people will drown where you're going. It's a great elimination process when you're doing what you need to be doing. And when you're focused, you don't have time for the unfocused. You don't have time for the good enough. You don't have time for compromise. Your discernment becomes sharper. Your vision becomes sharper. Everything becomes sharper and more obvious. Number two, a dumb saying I heard is the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again and again and expecting a different result. I've heard this on prophetic words, whatever. These people will only say that about successful habits that will actually bring you places. And a lot of people in this world have this fishbowl lens, fast result lens, when life is actually a compound effect of doing the same things over and over and over and over, becoming better and adding another layer, another layer, another layer, another layer. The champions within this world are those who did the same thing over and over and over and over and were insane. And for you to walk this path, you're gonna need to be insane. The scriptures say many are called, but few are chosen. Because the people who are called, they're saying, that requires a lot. That's insane. Yeah, it is. Think about Arnold, who was in the gym every single day, 4 hours, every single day, and then became an Olympian. Or think about the young boy who went left around the track time and time and time and time and time again until he's in NASCAR. Or think about the young woman who is doing hurdles, doing track, failing time and time and time and time again, showing up, getting better. Every time you show up, there's gonna be a draw placed on you for more, and you're gonna get better. And eventually it's gonna become easy if you work out and you do it daily. Eventually that's gonna become easy, and you're gonna be like, okay, what else can I add to this? Reading books. It's a compound effect where you begin adding healthy disciplines to your life. And somebody said this, it's insane to do the same thing every day and expect a different result. And the person was saying this, and then they just began eating chocolate and trash food, not realizing how foolish they sound. It's like you're going to the gym every single day and they're eating trash foods every single day. And they're saying it's insane to do the same thing every day and expect a different result. It depends what you're doing every day. People only say that about successful habits and they sound like idiots. Because that person's eating junk food all day, and it's insane to do the same thing every day and expect different results. But if you have a successful habit that you're doing every single day, eventually down the line, that's going to have a net bonus, a positive for you, and your spiritual capacity is going to grow where you're going to need to add on more. Now, you're not just shooting aimlessly. God says, though the vision tarries, meaning taking a long time, prolonging, wait for it. When you are using the talents that God gave you, water it, and it will grow. Maybe not much, but it will grow. And what does that look like? Doing the same thing time and time again that God has called you to do. And it's not an overnight process. Just like being good at literally anything is going to require your attention, your focus, doing the same thing, mastering that thing, moving on to the next thing, doing the same thing until it's easy. You grow from there, you go to the next. People say, it's insane to do the same thing over and over and over and expect a different result. One thing you'll notice is they only say that about successful habits, successful discipline, because they see it and they're like, I can't do that. That's insane, because it's a discipline. And you continue with the same thing until you grow out of that thing and need a progressive overload, just like the gym. Need more weight, just like the gym. Do what you have been called to do, and eventually it becomes, I need to learn more, I need to do more. For example, the guitar. You're learning a couple chords, doing the same thing. You master it. Now you need to go to the next level. That will happen naturally. Things will grow as you grow, but it will not grow if you don't tend to it so it can grow. When it comes to success, it's a compound effect. Go to the gym. Wow, that's a great discipline. It's instilled in you. Now you want to what? Do something else that's beneficial. Read books rather than scroll on your phone. After that, now you add something else. And sometimes you have to do the same thing to be like, it's time for something new, because you will get bored. It's just like the woman who's doing hurdles, practicing track, doing the same thing, but now there needs to be something else. You need to jump hurdles and now jump over water. The intervals need to be faster so you can match where you are at. So the challenge can match your growth until one day that woman's in the Olympics, or until that one day that young Steph Curry, who's doing the same shots in the gym over and 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 over again until he gets in the NBA and never misses the shot. The wisdom is making sure that you're doing that in the right direction, that is in alignment with God. And chapters will unfold. Spiritual capacity will grow. The same thing was with Nehemiah when he was building. There was mockers, there was scoffers, then there was threats, and then it got completed and finished. And that's the thing about success or doing what's proper. It's very plain. It's just like a clean diet. There's not assorted foods. There's not, this is very nice, this is very amazing, there's something sweet, there's all these different things. No, it's very much like rice, chicken, very plain, seasoning. And it very much can feel like the same thing until you're further down in your race, metaphorically, and the other person who's not doing that is gassing out, and you got the fuel. You got the pockets and the wells that you can pull from discipline, from things you implemented, which may feel like the same thing, but when you get in the ring, you realize those same things were compounding.